We have a special guest in the studios this morning, Ms. Molly Watson from the Brazos Valley Foundation, co-chair of an event called Brazos Valley Gives is here. Good morning, Molly. How are you?
Good morning, Lance. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit. Let's start out by tell us a little bit about the Brazos Valley Foundation.
Yes.
Because a lot of people probably don't know a lot about Brazos Valley Foundation and what it does. And then let's talk about Brazos Valley Gives.
Okay. The Community Foundation of the Brazos Valley is a foundation that helps philanthropic members of our community give. It makes giving easy. Many communities have community foundation, and ours here holds about over $9.1 million in assets. We have over 90 funds, donor-advised funds, different funds for nonprofits, and we give out grants every year.
So those donor-advised funds, let's talk a little bit about those. Those are like endowments that are set up.
They are.
Where somebody has bequeathed a fund that is invested. And then what the Brazos Valley Foundation does is manages that and maximizes, I guess, return on it.
That is exactly right, Lance. You understand it very well. And we make it very easy because our fees are lower.
Because you're a nonprofit.
Exactly. And so even nonprofits like KEOS can establish an endowment. And this goes on forever. This is about the sustainability of nonprofits throughout our community.
So that's the key to this. It's a nonprofit benefiting nonprofits, and that's a wonderful concept, sustainability. And that's one thing that I'd like to explore a little bit with you, because a lot of people, they give to one-time events. They give to a clothing drive, or they give to a one-time event that's for a specific purpose. But what you do is a little bit different. You set up these endowments so that they are sustainable. The base amount is never touched. It stays invested, and you are, I guess, in a way, harvesting or benefiting from the interest. So that's where the sustainability comes in.
That's exactly right. And we give away many grants every year, and the donors decide where they want to, which nonprofit they want to benefit, where it wants to go.
If somebody wanted to, now I know that there's a base amount that an organization has to have in order to make it worth it to establish an account, but can somebody who has maybe a lesser amount, but they would like to, I guess, pay into one of those endowments, is that a possibility?
That is.
How would somebody do that?
Well, and they just need to contact Patricia Gerling at the Community Foundation of the Brazos Valley, and I'll give you her number as well. Or just send an email to president.cfbv@gmail.com.
Okay, very good. And I see you're looking for the phone number. So while you're searching for that, one of the things I wanted to point out is that the Brazos Valley Foundation has been around for a while.
It has.
It's not a brand new organization. Now, I had to admit, there are a lot of organizations that work tirelessly to benefit the community that aren't high visibility because they don't have billboards, they don't have big galas and things that. Y'all kind of fit into that category.
Yes, we do. And we are in, I think, our 16th year. The Community Foundation is, and I did find Patricia's number if you are interested.
Absolutely, yes.
It's 979-589-4305.
All right. Give that number a call. So let's talk about Brazos Valley Gives. Now, Brazos Valley Gives, the concept is not new. There have been community-based days of giving in a variety of places around the United States for quite some time. So this is kind of patterned after some very successful days of giving. And so take us through how y'all decided to do that here in the Brazos Valley. I mean, it's a logical thing to do for your organization, but tell us about how the day works, how people can give, where they can give, and what I guess similar sized communities have been doing in the past. I want to kind of establish that there's kind of a little competitive thing here. We don't want to be outdone here in the Brazos Valley. We want to make sure we're at the top.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, giving days are typically powered by community foundations and communities. We really peered into North Texas Giving Day, which raised over $50 million last year. And that is Dallas-Fort Worth.
Dallas-Fort Worth, and it goes up to Denton, I think, and some of the surrounding communities, Greenville.
Okay. I worked for a nonprofit about 5 years ago that benefited from North Texas Giving Day. And in that one day, this nonprofit, the Baylor Nursing School, received over $600,000 in that day.
Wow.
So I always was intrigued by Giving Days, and being in this community thought, my goodness, Brazos Valley, the Brazos Valley.
We should do this.
Yes, and we're so giving. I knew it would be a success.
Yeah.
And Julie Porter, who's my co-chair, she was kind of thinking the same thing. I was talking to Patricia, who's the president of the Community Foundation. And we just got our minds together, got our energy together, and we did put on the first annual Brazos Valley Gives Giving Day last year in 2019.
So how'd it go?
It was great. We raised over $386,000, and that's the community. The community raised that. The community understood the concept and dove in.
Well, in those organizations that benefited, they were out there promoting it as well. And that's one of the big differences between, I guess, the United Way or somebody where there's a single agency that's doing, I guess, what you would call an umbrella campaign that many organizations benefit from. Each of the organizations had their own, portal into the program, and they could push that through their social media, their websites, phone calls. I know that I'm a Girl Scout, and we were hearing from Jenny Ford a lot about, okay, we got to give this hour. So, but the point is, it is organic. It is part of the community. It is part of the fabric of giving in the community. So another point I'd like to make is these gifts are not necessarily large gifts.
Not at all.
But they add up.
They do. And the minimum donation is $10. Anybody can be a philanthropist on Brazos Valley Gives Day. And it's interesting. The Community Foundation, this is just a gift to the community. What we did is we gave the nonprofits the tools. We gave them social media, logos, so that they could do their promoting. Their donors are theirs. They're not ours.
That's right.
And so we wanted to just give them every tool possible to be able to promote themselves to their constituency.
But you are providing a lot of help, like what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Which you've been doing a lot of for the past several weeks, and in leading up to this event. So that's one of the other things that I wanted to kind of showcase a little bit. That's what the Brazos Valley Foundation does.
That's right.
This is one of many events that you do, but this is, I guess, a micro event from the standpoint that somebody doesn't have to have $10,000 to set up an endowment or contribute to an endowment, but $10, $20, $30, but it does add up. It makes a big difference.
Yes, and nonprofits really, got their boards together and challenged them, and also decided, hey, we need this piece of equipment. Let's make this the Brazos Valley Gives Day, this Giving Day, targeted for our donors towards this piece of equipment or this program.
Right. And speaking of the portal, you can go onto the portal and click on a link. There's tab links. If you go to an organization, if you go to the website, you can search for an organization, and many of them, we're included. KEOS is one of those organizations. You can click on that tab, and it tells you exactly what I guess the many projects are. Some of them even have it on the little buttons, exactly what it's going to do.
And that's Brazos Valley. Easy. That's BrazosValleyGives.org.
That's right.
That's our website.
Yep, that's the official Brazos Valley Gives website. Now, I understand that on the day of the event, and what is that day?
Tuesday, October 27th.
That is a very special day because not only will you be hearing about it everywhere, hopefully, on the radio and TV, but are we going to have some drop-off locations where people can go to if they don't? Because some people, they're not too keen into putting their credit card because they're concerned about the internet, or they just want to hand you cash or a check. So how could they do that?
Well, we will be at the Eagle on Briarcrest Drive in Bryan from 7 to 7.
And that's going to be the front parking lot.
Yes,
you can just literally drive through.
We will have a basket. You drop it in. We don't touch each other. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Also in Washington County at the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, okay. Washington County as well. So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, the area that Brazos Valley Gives covers. So right now, clearly, Brazos County and Washington County.
Yes.
Are there any other counties that are...
You can help me with our 7-county region. But
we got Robertson County, Burleson, Grimes, Lee, and Madison County.
And Madison. That's
okay,
it.
Good. So that's them.
Lance.
All right. Okay, very good.
Yes, and we do have nonprofits from 6 out of those 7 counties. I think over 15 from Washington County.
Great.
nonprofits.
So I wanted to make clear, it's not
Thank
just
you.
Brazos County, not just Washington County.
No.
So if you happen to be listening outside of the county, maybe think about other organizations in your community. Check the website to see if they're participating. And if they're not, tell them they need to participate next year.
That's right. That's exactly right. We're past our little deadline there. And you mentioned something that I wanted to say. Abilene has Abilene Gives.
Mm-hmm.
East Texas has East Texas Giving Day. They are similar to our community.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, what do the numbers look like for similar size communities and how we're in our second year? I mean, we're just getting started, but I think we did pretty good last year.
We did, and we were nervous about just this unprecedented year. And so we looked back to see what Abilene had done because they held their Giving Day in April 30th of
So it was
this year.
post-COVID.
Yes, right in kind of in the middle.
In the midst of it.
Yes, and they raised $749,000 the previous year. They were 1.2 this year in 2020.
1.2 million?
Yes.
Wow. So it went up.
It did. And same with East Texas. They were 1.4, 1.5 last year, held it May 5th of this year, and over $2 million raised.
Maybe that's because people aren't eating out as much.
I know.
They have more to give.
Well, and we just, we care about these nonprofits, and so many of them had to cancel events and fundraisers that were in person. And we're just so grateful. Our event has been virtual from the beginning, and that's what it is. And so we're ready, and we're set up for these nonprofits to benefit from this Giving Day.
All right. Well, thank you very much to come in and talk to us about your organization, the event. So one more time, sum it up for everybody, the day of the event and where to go both virtually and in person.
Okay, BrazosValleyGives.org. Log on Tuesday, October 27th. Find your favorite nonprofit and give a minimum donation of $10. You can stop by the Eagle that day from 7 to 7 or the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. It's about community first and giving where you live.